Alright, Shalom. This is the brother Atazawamia from GMS South Carolina camp. First and foremost, giving all praises to Yahweh Shemal Shai. Double honors to those a great millstone taught me this truth. Shalom to the Akim out there pushing the truth and sincerity. Alright, another lesson going in on the tribe of Zebulon, which is you so-called Panamanians to Guatemalans of native descent. Basically, you natives of Central America. Okay. Now, in this one, I'm just going to read this excerpt, okay, alright, from the losttribes.info, and put the link in the information box, and if you speak or read Spanish, it has it in Spanish on this page as well, alright. Yeah, this is about the deluge, basically talking about the story of Noah, okay, alright. Now, when the Spaniards came, they found out that these particular tribes in Peru and in Cuba and Nicaragua, okay, that they had knowledge of the story of Noah, the flood, in detail, Adam, the fall or the temptation of Eve being tempted by the serpent, and Adam, and all that. Okay, they had it in detail, so I'm just gonna read this, and you can read the story about it on your own, because I want to make these videos as short to the point. Alright, but it's just to prove the fact, because you still got clowns out there. This recent one, Ray Eyes, the reprobate, okay, teaching that only Negroes are Israelites, and failed to see the fact that certain that the natives of North, Central, South America and the Caribbean Isles that were over here prior to Spanish and well, prior to the white man coming, those were Israelites, okay? And these are just observations that those Edomites, which is you so-called white people, those Europeans that came over here, that's the Spaniards and the Puritans and the Pilgrims and the Patriots and whatever the fuck they want to call them damn selves, to hell with them, they're the devil, okay? Well, those demons, when they came over here, they observed the manners or the customs of the natives, and they came to the conclusion that they had to be Israelites, because they had friars and scholars, people that study the scriptures, and they was inquiring, and they found out that these people knew about certain things, even in grave detail. The story of Adam and Eve and the serpent in the garden, Noah and the flood, in grave detail. So I'm just gonna highlight this. All right. It says, for this account it will be perceived that as not only in New Spain and in Peru, alright, okay, you Peruvians, alright, are Israelites, because that's South America, okay, you Peruvians will be of the tribe of Asher, okay, which will be like Brazil to Colombia to Uruguay, okay, all that area, alright, that make up the tribe of Asher, okay, which Peru will be up in that area. It says, for this account it will be perceived that as not only in Spain, New Spain, and in Peru, but likewise in Nicaragua, which is Central America, the tradition of the deluge, talking about the flood, was generally received among the Indians. Okay, so what is that? That's all up Central and South America, that those natives knew about. What they knew about the story of Noah and the flood in grave detail, and that the temptation of Eve, going back to Genesis chapter 3, and the fall of man and the loss of paradise was no less general in the New World. So that means all the natives over here had the understanding of the flood and the fall of Adam and Eve. Okay, since the tradition of the inhabitants of Cuba, okay, alright, you Cubans, alright, is of the tribe of Manasseh. You so-called Cubans, okay, are of the tribe of Manasseh. Alright, y'all also Israelites. It says the tradition of the inhabitants of Cuba certainly derives to be compared, deserves to be compared with those of the people of the Michoacan and the Nicaragua, okay, Central Americans, who also approximate to the Mosaic history. Now, what is that talking about? It's talking about the scriptures, the Bible, the Mosaic history. That's Genesis to Deuteronomy. First, so-called what they call the Pentateuch, which Penta means 5 in Greek, okay, and Tuch, I think, means books. Okay, Pentateuch. Okay, basically the first 5 books would be what? The books of Moses. Okay, the Mosaic history and their accounts of the deluge. So in Cuba, alright, and in Nicaragua, so that proves, like it said, was no less general in the New World. That proves that the Caribbean Isles, the natives in the Caribbean Isles, they knew about the Mosaic history of the deluge, or the time of Noah. They knew it in Central America as well in South America. So, you know, to hell with this simple ass nigga, okay? It says, to the Mosaic history and their accounts of the deluge, although the former of the last mentioned nations believed that it was the colibri or the hummingbird and not the dove that returned from the branch of the tree. Okay, well, that's because over a period of time, you know, it was all oral over here, so you know they lost fact that it was a dove. And you know, if you're in Central America or these islands, you'll see more hummingbirds or tropical birds, but they still had the knowledge of the story of the flood, okay, and there's no getting around that. Okay, get this about Mexicans, because you know this clown also say Mexicans are not Israelites. Okay, all right, which you Mexicans, okay, Mexicans are of the tribe of Issachar. So you so-called Mexicans are of the tribe of Issachar. Okay, and on this page, I mean, it's got the majority of information is like hella. It's so much information about Mexicans and their resemblance and customs, dress, ways of living, the way they teach their kids, their sacrifices, circumcision, certain holy days. They kept the day of unleavened bread. It's infinite on this page about the ways of the Mexicans. Okay, that prove they're Israelites. So you assholes out there that's stuck on stupid or just fucking proud, to hell with you, man. Okay, the Lord's gonna kill you because those so-called Mexicans are children of Israelites. Okay, the children of Israel, they're Israelites. So to hell with you. It says the fact that the Mexicans recording both in paintings and songs the deluge, alright, the flood, the building of the Tower of Babel, that's Genesis 10, you can read that on your own, the confusion of tongues, and the disperse of the tribes being generally omitted by the early Spanish writers on America. It is almost unnecessarily to refer to the authority of any particular writing to prove that what no one will deny. Deny what? That they're Israelites. That they're Israelites. Oh, and let me just Wikipedia deluge real quick, so nobody don't get it twisted, okay? Because I know how people are. Well, how you know that's talking about the flood and Noah? You know, how you know that? You know. Let's go to Wikipedia. Hey, let me copy it. Okay. So I ain't know. Well, I didn't know. You know. Because I know how you scoffers and you damn how simple our people could be. So I'm just going to go straight to it. Deluge. If it ever pull up. Let's open a new page. Okay. Genesis flood narrative. The Genesis flood narrative is a flood myth, which is not a myth. It's a fact in the Hebrew Bible, or the Holy Bible, comprising chapters 6 through 9 in the book of Genesis. The narrative indicates that the God of Israel, which is Yahweh, intended to return the universe to its pre-creation state of watery chaos and then remake it using the microcosm of Noah's Ark. Thus the flood was no originally overflow, but a reserve of creation. The narrative discussed the evil of the humanity that moved God to destroy their universe by way of flood. The preparation of the ark for certain animals and for Noah and his family. God guaranteed for the continuous existence of life upon the promise that he would never send another flood. No, he said that he won't destroy the earth again the way that he did before, which was by the flood. Okay. And where it came from? Deluge. So when I went to deluge in Wikipedia, it says what? A flood. Okay. And then it says what? Genesis flood narrative. Alright. Let's go to the dictionary, just in case. Okay, so when you see the word deluge, it's just another name, another way of saying the flood. This is online Wikipedia. Okay. Deluge. That's a lot. Let's scroll down. Deluge, late 14th century from Old French, deluge, 12th century, early deluvi, from the Latin, I don't know how to pronounce that, flood. Okay. Basically, that's what it means to what? Flood. Alright. Flood. So when it was talking about what? That these Israelites, the Mexicans, the Peruvians, the Cubans, Nicaraguans, if I'm pronouncing it right, Slock, if I didn't, but you know what I'm talking about. They had knowledge of the Mosaic history about the flood. So anybody that got a problem, okay, with the Latinos and Native Americans being Israelites, that's on you. But they're God's chosen people. Okay? And that's just proof. Okay? Alright? So that. Alright? Go over Zebulon. Alright? Which is you natives of Central America of Mayan descent. You Israelites from Panama to Guatemala. Okay? Manasseh, so-called Cubans. Alright? You had knowledge of this on the islands. Okay, y'all Israelites, and you so-called Mexicans. Okay, you're Israelites as well. Alright, and you natives of Inca descent. Alright? And of natives of Brazil all the way to Uruguay and Colombia, you're Israelites. Okay? So with that, I want to say all praises to Yahweh Shemal Shai. Double honors to those, a great millstone taught me this truth. Shalom to the Akim out there pushing the truth and sincerity. Alright? This is the brother Ataz Wamia saying Shalom.